Convincing your boss to pay for coding courses. It seems a little tough. It seems like one of those things we might not even consider to do. If we're working in a company, either the company is going to give us courses or they're not. Usually pushing your own skill set and requesting that yourself isn't something a lot of people do, but there's a lot of benefit to doing it. And it's one of the things that I would recommend you guys go out to do yourselves, even before you view this whole video, which will tell you different approaches on how you can do it. Being able to go up to your company or your boss and say that you want to learn more, you want to get better at your job, and you want to do some courses to be able to do that. It's a great thing to be able to do. It has a number of benefits, not just whether they say yes or no. The very first benefit, obviously, will be that they'll see that you're dedicated in this role. You want to improve, and you're not just there to sort of make money, but you actually care about what you're doing, which is really important. As an employer, they like to be able to see that. And if you're showing that you want to learn more, you're stepping onto that field, showing that you've got that potential to do more as well. Now, the things that I wanted to talk about is how you go about being able to essentially ask to get paid to do courses, because that's what we want to be able to do. We want to be able to keep learning. When we're starting out, it's all fine for us to be able to learn ourselves, to put ourselves into those courses. But usually after we get a job or a position at a company, that's usually where we stop learning. We're still learning on the job, we're still learning the hard way with real world experience. But technology changes. Technology and libraries and languages, they're constantly changing, and you want to be able to keep up with that. And to be able to do that, you're going to have to keep learning. And while you can do that in your own time, it's much better to be able to do that with a supporter behind you, such as a company or a boss who's actually going to be there, helping you along, paying for your courses, and all that. Now, there's a number of benefits for them to be able to do that, as well as yourself. Obviously, the first benefit is that your skills will improve. And this means that when you're going back to work, you'll be able to perform better. You'll be more effective at your job. And essentially, you'll be completing more work for that company and your boss, which means that you're more valuable in general. The second part to this is obviously that as a more valuable person after completing courses and training, then you'll be essentially ready to maybe move up a position. So that way in the future, when your boss is looking to maybe employ someone for a higher position, they might just pick you instead, which would be great, because hiring someone and training them up from scratch at a new company, that's an expensive endeavor. Being able to use you there and you having already those skills because you did those courses means that it's going to save your company a lot of money. The other aspect to that is also happiness. Staff that get training are happier in general. And you can normally convey this quite easily because it means that they're seeing that their employer actually cares about them. They're building their skill sets, and this means that they feel like they're growing as people. And this sort of attitude where the company takes care of their employees is a great one to have. This is something that you want to convey because happy workers work better as well. And I think that being able to learn to code and continuing your journey along that is a great way to be in that mindset. Then, of course, is the company policies and guidelines. When companies get quite large, the people that they hire really actually go through those policies and they actually have a lot of meaning to them. And when a company or a boss is able to show off that training is an important part of the company, a lot more people will be happy to work there as well. So this means that hiring is easier. You're going to be able to hire better talent. And by showing off that you provide training courses, whether it's just starting out for yourself or you're trying to convey this by having that as something that the company does, you can convey this to your boss. You'll be getting hired, or you'll be hiring, or that company will be able to hire better people in the future too. So it's not just a situation where your boss might be paying a small amount for your own course and that's it. and they think that they're throwing that money away. No, there's so much to it. There's the happiness factor, there's the improvement in performance and the efficiencies and the future growth. There's so many attributes that you can convey as part of this, and this is what you want to be able to do. Now, if you want to go up to your boss and you want to ask them to start paying for your courses, you have to be smart about it. You can't just go and say, hey, can you pay? It's going to be one of those things like a bit of a conversation, like a little bit of a date, where you'll maybe introduce the idea that you're learning or you're looking to learn a little bit more. Maybe you send off an email going that these are the things that you're interested in, and making sure that these things also fit in with the company structure of what you're doing in your day job. Then when you do this, start looking around for what sort of pricing is available. Make sure that it's realistic and it's within the company budget. Some companies might have budgets for training and some might not, so you have to take this into consideration when you're looking for stuff. And when you figure out which courses that you want to do and is in line with the company structure, that's when you might want to talk in person with your boss. A face-to-face conversation with someone is a lot more realistic and will work a lot more to convey how serious you are about wanting to learn and improve. And this way you've got a much higher chance to really convey what your message is about, essentially wanting to learn more and do better for the company. On top of that, when you're doing your course, then you have to show that you're really putting in the time and effort, because if it does get approved, then you don't want to just waste it. You want to make sure that it has a big benefit to your company, because this won't just affect you, this will affect future people as well when they apply for courses. So you want to make sure you try your hardest for that too. And finally, when you've finished your course and you've essentially had it approved and you've done it, make sure that you show this off in the future. Make sure you use this as a stepping stone to get more courses, because that's the best way to grow and improve. Once you're able to do this and you're really able to show your boss and company just how beneficial it is for you to do learning, you'll open up the door to be able to do this every single year. You'll open up the door for other people to be able to do this as well. And this is what you want to be able to do. If we all have this approach to helping and learning, then we're all going to grow as people and it's a benefit to everyone. Anyway, these are my thoughts on learning and in terms of trying to convince your boss to do so. There's other ways you can do this as well, but these are some of the ways that I've done it. And I've really grown as a person by being able to do that. I eventually swapped careers, so I had to start from scratch, but this experience, it sort of works in any field, and I would advise people to go about it the same way. Anyway, my name is Adrian. I do videos around design and development, so if you do like this kind of content and you want to see more like it, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.